Okay. If you're watching this on YouTube, no, wait, the live is on YouTube too. So if you're watching the video, the VOD is on the description, and the original video is on the description too. A nice thing that would be opening the original video. If you are on a computer, you can open the original video in a new guide and let it play muted and give it a like to the original creator. And if you like my video, please give a like, comment something recommending or something like that. And what more? Yeah, subscribe. Okay, so with that said, let's go. Intravenous 2, Intravenous 2 review, Collateral edition. There is it's on Steam. I'll see. Maybe I put in my wish list. Oh, the video is age restricted, so I don't know if the stream or the video that I make gonna be true. But let's go.
Hey people, Seth here. Considering I'm recording from the Balkan equivalent of City 17, the quality of this video may be just as bad as anything else I release. There's a rare coincidence that happens once and almost never. A publisher approaches me to cover something that I'm already reviewing.
But he accepted, or he says that he's gonna do it anyway, so he don't accept. I don't know.
Developed by a single man in
Roman Glebenkov made Intravenous 1 and 2. Wait, let me open. Let me open the Steam. There is a bunch of discount right now. Okay. It's okay. All right. There is a bunch of discount. Let me see. Intravenous 2. Here it is. There is even a remaster. What the fuck? Here is the game. That is the game. It's the ultimate blend of tactical. It's from 2024, and it's from the view, from God's view, like that of the game. I forgot the name. How to light my name. I think I have on my wish list too. I still didn't play. There is support pack, the 2, some kind of remaster. I don't know. This remaster is a remaster of what? Experiencing the game, what it all began the way the developer intended the game to be. Various new features present in Intravenous 2 were meant to be included in the first game, but were cool to do it to time. It's all worth. They took out a joke. That's sad when they feel like they have to take out things. But if it's how the developer wanted it to be, so I guess it's a good remaster.
Lithuania.
Because there is some remasters that I don't know what they make the game lose the original artistic intent.
Intravenous 2 is one of the best tactical shooters I've ever played. Many of the events presume you've played Intravenous 1, which isn't a problem because he remastered the whole thing in the second engine. So we start from there by playing the first game inside the second game, or else
so you can do that. I understand it now. I should just watch the video.
it doesn't make sense. Steve is a normal man living in the Polish inside the second game, or else it doesn't make sense. Steve is a normal man living in the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth in an alternative history where Lithuania has reached the Bronze Age.
Lithuania is Eastern Europe, I think, right? I'm not sure.
Innovation has endowed them with working toilets and knowledge of coal-based energy. Aesthetically and thematically, this game is
Looks
colossally
nice.
core.
I think I'm gonna put it on my wish list, maybe, because I like these pixelated games, and what it is, I like these pixelated games, and their master has oh yeah, I clicked on other thing. One more to the wish list with 130 games. 130 games. Okay, let's go.
After a night of heavy drinking, Steve walks through a shady alleyway with his brother before being attacked by junkies. His brother, aesthetic innovation has endowed them with working toilets and knowledge of coal-based energy. Aesthetically and thematically, this game is
the aesthetic.
After a night of heavy drinking, Steve walks through a shady alleyway with his brother before being attacked by junkies. His brother goes into a coma and dies the following night. The police find nothing, so Steve decides to take matters into his own hands. Welcome to Intravenous. You're outgunned and outnumbered. Everything.
So just one hit, you die.
Makes a sound, and a single unsuppressed trigger pull is loud enough to alert the entire level. So, unless you want your chest ventilated, you better be quiet. Druggy Ghetto, also known as My Car Park in East England. The first level serves as a tutorial to get your bearings. Arguably, normal difficulty is a 10-hour tutorial before you're ready to play the actual game. Mouse wheel controls your movement speed, allowing you
looks like my type of game
to instantly change across different...
Well, I mean, the type of game that I would like, because I spent a long time being a Dota 1 and Dota 2 player, and there is a bunch of old games that I have to play that everyone played, but I did not play. Yeah.
Stances. The faster you are, the more sound you make.
But it's good because I can play all these old games on stream.
At free notches, we're a good compromise and able to get the jump on enemies. Don't fall for my mistake. Notches 1 and 2 are marginally better, but the only reason you'd use them is if you're wearing Kevlar in a plate carrier, in which case, you're not going to make it. Approaching someone from behind lets you perform a stealth takedown. Pressing E chokes them out, which can transition to snapping their neck with Q, or you can just cut their throat. This is much quicker, but makes them bleed out, which is a problem, as we often have to dispose of the evidence by dragging their body.
That's something that I think that everyone knows, that the details, the attention to the details. Yeah, I pronounced that right? I don't know. The attention to detail is one of the most important things to any kind of creator, be it games, movies, series. I think when the creator care about the thing that he's doing, he gonna give attention to these details, I think. But of course it depends on what the creator wants to achieve. Maybe what they want to achieve needs to circumvent or be above the details. So not everything needed to be super detailed, but when you see that the creator put some, what the fuck am I talking about? When you see that the creator put some attention to detail, it's kinda telling of how he treats his thing, the thing that he's making. I don't know what I was trying to say with that, but...
And a bloody corpse leaves a bloody trail. You could choose to leave him unconscious at your discretion, which is incredibly noble, unless things go south and their friends choose to leave him unconscious at your discretion, which is incredibly noble, unless things go south and their friends find the bodies, wake them up, and undo all of your efforts. In a Steve campaign, there's no reason to spare anyone, so I usually stack up the bodies and make up a backstory for why they should live or die. He didn't choose this life. He probably has a family. He paid $10,000 for a commission of Polyzoravus Normandy, inflated, larger than the solar system. Hiding bodies is a fine art. Dark alleyways conceal your wet work. Dumpsters work in plain sight. But the most functional and reusable of all is the humble toilet. You're telling me every building has a room with one door and no windows? Excellent. Ledges and fences can be vaulted by pressing space or holding shift as you run towards them. The same goes for windows, but breaking them creates a lot of noise. They facilitate movement, but being waist high, they give up your position as well. Ventilation shafts are completely silent and let you navigate around buildings. Doors are deceptively creaky, but don't actually make any noise when opening or closing, except when you bash them open. Timing this with a passing patrol is an instant knockout. Enemies will leave a patrol route and investigate if they hear or spot something suspicious. This can be both a nuisance and an opportunity to lure them into the open. For example, I can leave a door open, switch off the lights, and hide in the closet. When a junkie comes to investigate the open door, he notices the dark room and tries to find the light switch. As he passes by, I burst through the closet, drag him to the bathroom, and curb stomp his face. However, most situations aren't so ideal. When there's no cover to be found, press Control to go prone. You can't attack while prone, but the trade-off is drastically reduced detection. Combine it by crawling under a bush in some darkness, and you're almost invisible. Provided you're right below them, you can also slide
What's that? Must be the wind.
Security cameras. If you're ever unsure of how much noise you're making or how much light is on your character, you can always check the indicators on the bottom left. C is a non-lethal pistol whip. Holstering your weapon with H switches you to the best silent weapon in the game. Steve's ripped up, roided out body. Punching an enemy from behind is an instant knockout. 2 if you surprise them from the front or sides. Right click is a kick, which you can abuse by camping doors. Just be warned, enemies can also do it. Steve searches the drug den, but doesn't find anyone who killed his brother. This marks the main structure of the mission. Enter the scene, confront your target, and exfiltrate. Revenge is expensive, and we need money. Along the way, you can find secondary objectives, such as schematics, loose cash, jewelry, compromising material, and cryptocurrency. Unfortunately, every crypto wallet is at the end of its pump and dump, and every chat log only incriminates a low-tier Minecraft YouTuber at best. You might also encounter the mini-criminates, a low-tier
His shield exploit attempt to stop the
Minecraft YouTuber at best. You might also encounter the Mini Uzi. If you want new guns for later missions, you have to exfiltrate with them first. Explanation: you're doing illegal shit, so you probably need an unregistered weapon with a scrubbed serial number. There's unique weapons across every level, and it's a matter of personal preference. But I do hope that one day you'll discover the joys of a Ruger MK4. Master gave Dobby the blicky with a switch. Dobby is now a free elf. This is a
the sound is nice, and the feel probably that probably is nice to use it, to play it.
Time to mention that Zed automatically loots ammunition, and Tilda lets you cycle between different varieties for your current weapon. In this case, between standard 9mm and positive P over pressure. Reloading with R doesn't magically save bullets. It throws out your current magazine on the floor and replaces it with whatever you have. There's no time to hand load ammunition. The magazine will make more of an echo to indicate how close you are to going dry. For added control, Alt cycles your fire mode. This is especially important to higher caliber rifles, where recoil will kill you before the enemy. Progress is kept by saves. These are limited permission, and you unlock more as you progress or reach a checkpoint. Honestly, I love the system. It forces you to live with your decisions and keep going. I've had some of the most fun just because I couldn't go back on my mistakes. Pro tip, I got really frustrated with how I had to manually name each save file, which would reset after checkpoints. Turns out, I'm a knuckle dragger and had no reason to do that, because F5 quick saves and F9 quick loads. Steve returns home empty-handed because F5 quick saves and F9 quick loads. Steve returns home empty-handed and receives an anonymous phone call, which isn't very anonymous at all because I can see their portrait. They call themselves the Accomplice, even though I can clearly see this is Kurt Cobain. They claim that they've also lost loved ones and the police have done nothing about it, offering Steve their assistance in tracking down those responsible, and also access to a Jobka warehouse with enough guns.
It's the stream is okay.
To scare the ATF. This is incredibly convenient, but I'm not complaining because now we have access to loadouts. All the money you collect from missions can be spent on tools and weapon attachments. Each upgrade is a one-time cost, so you don't have to worry about dropping them in the field. According to the Accomplice, one of the men that killed his brother was spotted on CCTV. After 34 days of intense training, Steve deploys to his next mission. You can choose anything you want for a loadout, but here's a recommendation. Guns are loud, and the only thing that comes close to silent is the the Brugger and Fomet VP9. It's integrally suppressed.
Ooh.
The original use was to put down sick animals, but it works on people too. It's chambered in 9mm subsonic. The only problem is the lack of ammunition. However, we can switch our mini Uzi to 9mm subsonic as well, giving us an extra 64 pulls of a trigger. Why do I like this gun? Because it's a one-shot silent kill from behind, but primarily we won't be popping heads.
If you want to play stealth and not go break in, killing everybody in a fight,
light bulbs, because once you hit tab, darkness
it's nice.
becomes.
I like the two styles, and in a game you can replay anytime you want, so you can play all the styles you want.
Your best friend. No matter the loadout, night vision goggles are standard issue. Enemies might have flashlights, but they can't see in the dark. For gadgets, I take the HSR EMP to glitch out cameras without suspicion, the taser for non-lethal takedowns at range, and a throwing knife, because I give up my non-lethal run halfway into each mission. Aside from this, I take a Kevlar plate. It's not that noisy, and each time you forget you're wearing it, you'll be glad you remembered. To be clear, this is the difference between dying from 2 bullets instead of 1, but hey, every little bit counts. Additionally, armor lets you heal off damage. Red is your actual health. Getting shot turns it to yellow, which is potential health if you take a moment to recover. Please note, in the middle of combat, you do not have this luxury. The music.
I thought it would be the entire game in one hit shot, but no, you can circumvent it.
Gives you context clues to how you're doing. If you're incognito, it's calm and peaceful. It gets tense if a level is starting to get suspicious, and the moment an unsuppressed round is fired, the track goes loud.
Ooh. Holy shit! Good soundtrack.
Knows how to pick locks now. This is called
I'm glad I put on my wish list.
Development. It's fairly fast and silent, but you're vulnerable in the process. If you're in a hurry, you could choose to break the lock instead, making a bunch of noise in the process. Most locks are indoors, but there's also breaker boxes that let you kill the lights for an entire building. Unlike broken lights, power outages don't arouse suspicion, but they do force patrols to walk outside and flip back the breaker, during which time you can sneak inside or incapacitate them. The mission goes without a hitch. We find one of our brother's killers who leaks the location of another. First, we make sure he's telling the truth. Then we ventilate him. We fail to find him, but stumble on his dealer, who says he's getting his supply from a serious operation by the nickname Shopkeeper. Following our second lead to a port warehouse, we find the man who started all this, the one who ordered the attack on you and your brother. After a heartfelt recollection, we send him straight to hell. Surprisingly, this doesn't improve
But the attack was random, or there was a motive?
Mental health. The kill sends Steve into a rage as he intravenously injects 50cc trenbolone acetate directly into his cock vein. This event unlocks his special perk.
Tutorial Die Hard. Fueled by anger, Steve reflects in situations where he is greatly outnumbered, now slow down time. Giving him a reaction time advantage. Nice. Don't let tutorials stop gameplay.
Die Hard. Whenever you're outnumbered in a gunfight, your adrenaline kicks in and you go into slow-mo. Usually, this triggers at the worst possible time. So, not only do you have to die, you have to watch it in slow motion. Steve is understandably traumatized. I can relate to this. When I was 15, I landed on the dark web, and I saw so many Chinese industrial accidents that it left an impression on me. This is the equivalent of Illidan taking in the Eye of Sargeras. I was awakened to things I shouldn't know. Or maybe I'm overreacting, as everybody else took it differently. My friends would see a man cooked to a crisp from touching live electrical wire and send me a one-line response on Skype. Nerve gas. Unsatisfied, Steve vows to take down as many drug peddlers as possible with the help of his trusty accomplice. Once we...
Sounds like what my bros would say too. Sometimes even me.
Pursue the shopkeeper, the game reaches its highest complexity. This is no longer low-end drug trafficking. This is organized crime. Accordingly, we don't have random goons. We have security details with Kevlar and automatic weapons. There's cameras everywhere, magnetic key cards for checkpoints, and every person on the map is radioed in. If they say a single word, the entire level is on lockdown. Stealth is heavily encouraged. In fact, it's your only option. You're playing the real game now, and there's nothing left to teach you. So let's finish up the story, Shopkeeper handles production,
Shopkeeper.
or at least he used to. Baker is responsible for distribution. However, he's the only one who expresses any remorse for his actions and promises a favor if you let him go. This is the one and only choice to spare someone in the first game, and I recommend you take it. Finishing your vengeance spree, you return to the peace of your domestic life and watch slop on TV. Then your apartment gets broken into by several hitmen sent to kill you. Despite the length of it, this is easily one of my favorite missions. Also, the song is a banger.
This is
The last one alive.
This is because you. This is because he chose to spare. So there is this extra mission.
You off that he got the job from Empathetic. Shopkeeper, Baker, Empathetic. Everyone in this game works off ridiculous nicknames. What's next? Candyman? Sugar? Quasimodo? You try to call Accomplice for answers, but the phone is dead. Steve is mildly stressed from his experience and has a quick smoke to clear his head.
Ooh, what
Baker
the fuck is this
mildly
video?
Quasimodo? You try to call Accomplice for answers, but the phone is dead. Steve is mildly stressed
the
from his
hell?
experience and has a quick smoke to clear his head. Baker is the only one that picks up. Grateful for your mercy, he gives you access to the black market and a new hideout. As he lies low and hides from his former colleagues, you assault Empathetic's restaurant and hold him at gunpoint. He refuses to break confidentiality, but points you in the direction of someone who can. An undercover cop knows where the hit came from, but his cover is blown, and he won't spill the beans until you wipe out the mob he's infiltrating. One hand washes the other. To nobody's surprise, you haven't been receiving the support of a benevolent millionaire. Instead, you've helped a crime
Holy
boss
shit.
wipe out his competition. You're the only loose end. Your final objective? Kill everyone.
Oh, nice. And I got to the spoiler. But
Including the
I still didn't play, so it's okay.
accomplice, but not before injecting him with enough heroin that he can't possibly hold a firearm, and writing a dubious letter where your handwriting is visibly
I don't mind the spoilers too much. The game, there is still the gameplay for me.
different from arrest. Regardless, the courts are paid off, and his crackhead wife lives happily ever after. At the very least, you've kept drugs off the street. Kids will no longer fall prey to Flintstone gummy
you're gonna
vitamins or the dreaded Oblivi card,
the new-
Booth of the Year edition. I just
the new
realized
boys.
I explained the entirety of Intravenous 1 to contextualize the events of a second,
What?
when a story is secondary.
That was the one? Oh, I thought it was the entire game.
And doesn't actually matter.
I didn't even notice.
What does matter is starting the second campaign on true difficulty, which doesn't mean arbitrarily harder. It means we've intentionally handicapped the AI for every other difficulty to prepare you for playing on normal. Dropping bodies make noise. Enemies notice missing patrols, react faster, and shoot harder. Everyone dies quicker. Bleeding can turn you into a cripple, and you have almost no save files. Just as it was always meant to be. Sean is a
Então, when I played this game, that every game on my wish list I have the intention to play. I don't know when, but I will play. I'll probably try to play on the max difficult.
normal Bishonen
From the beginning?
protagonist living in the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth.
This
Your
image of
father needs
grift.
ivermectin to treat his river blindness, but at $3 a pack for a one-time treatment that will completely cure his condition, he simply can't afford it. Out of options, he decides to become a hitman for Empathetic, only taking the jobs that he feels are morally justified. Your first objective is to kill a construction contractor that keeps scamming people by embezzling their money, asking for more to finish the job, and ghosting them when no more can be paid. This is exactly like gypsies in the Baltics. And call me prejudiced, but if it was me, you wouldn't have to pay me. Next, you're told to liquidate a politician who's allegedly involved in child trafficking. However, the hit goes wrong. Confronting the man, you find no evidence of the charges. You've been fed bullshit to kill a rival politician. You back out of a job only to find out your dad has been kidnapped.
Holy
You're being
shit.
blackmailed into killing people, and if you don't comply, they'll kill your father. By chance, Sean encounters Steve. Both of their names alliterate to SS, a reference to the Schutzstaffel. They form a dynamic duo. Steve is an infamous anabolic roid hog that single-handedly wiped out free mobs, and Sean has glass bones, paper skin, severe anemia, and he has an inhaler for his asthma. Together, they're gonna find Sean's dead, and maybe, somewhere along the way, they'll discover their feelings for each other. It's worth mentioning, there's light RPG mechanics where you get better at something the more you do it. Lockpicking, load-bearing, reloading, and recoil control for differently sized guns. Steve is combat seasoned. Sean is the equivalent of a polio victim in Treblinka. Naturally, he serves to benefit from Steve's experience, but Steve has only just met him, so you have to build up trust between missions by sparing targets and avoiding bystanders such as civilians and public officials. That's the new feature of Intravenous 2. Mixed populations. They're civilians and combatants. Some would argue they're the same thing, but Steve doesn't like you harming innocents. Wait, Steve, what exactly is your fatality rate? Dad might die if I don't comply with the kidnappers, but he's not exactly going to train my stats. And, worst comes to worst, our medical fees have just gone down. Sean takes the blackmail contracts and fumbles them, while Steve takes side missions to investigate their identity. Between missions, you return to your incel warehouse, where there's nothing to do except knock out lights with a soda can and watch whatever's on TV. Nothing to do except knock out lights with a soda can and watch whatever's on TV. After rescuing your dad, he's also in the hideout, so you can continue to disappoint him. I freed you, Papa. You're my captive now. We give him control of the TV, and he's pretty happy about that. However, he doesn't realize you can skip adverts and watches them in their entirety. Most parents would be like, let go of grudges. Come back, my boy. Your dad just encourages you. Honestly, he doesn't even mind that you're a hitman. Things really are different in Poland. Life has no value because death is meaningless. You just respawn at the nearest Biedronka. Anyway, we find a politician responsible for these shenanigans and put him down. Sean cries softly from realizing it's all over, but his face stings from a lip filler. Instead of planting a kiss, Steve wraps Sean in his bear-like embrace, and they get married. The end. Mechanically, there's a lot to love about Sean and his bear-like embrace, and they get married. The end.
Code of Honor. Get to the best end.
Mechanically, there's a lot to love about this game. Every system blends in on itself, and once you understand the enemy AI, it becomes a beautifully controlled chaos. Enemies don't know where you are. Where they think you are is your last visual sighting and any source of noise. For example, I could kill the lights, shoot at a group, and jump out the window. As a second group loops around to flank me, they're hit by blind fire from the first. If they take losses, they'll become more cautious. Instead of following you into your kill corridor, they'll use their superior numbers and camp outside. There's a couple of anomalies here and there. If you turn off a light in an occupied toilet, the guy gets suspicious, turns the light back on, and continues shitting. But generally, it's incredibly competent. Both campaigns are sick. There's a reason this game is so highly rated. It's not that long and very replayable. The writing is serviceable, but it's never the focus. Although, at one point, Sean does follow a GPS tracker, and that's relevant to the story, so that's pretty cool. I knew a guy who did something similar, except instead of a GPS, it was other men's semen. I could go on for another 10 minutes discussing every loadout, every weapon, and whether an infrared laser combined with a 9mm caliber conversion is worth the money. The short answer to which is yes. To save you the time, the optimal build is to go fully unarmed with one taser and electrocute your testicles. In summary, it insists upon itself. 0 out of 10. In all seriousness, this is a game with a microphone slider, so you can attach a $1 Xbox clip-on microphone to alert the entire level. It's amazing. I thoroughly recommend Intravenous 2, which will be going on a 33% sale. And I doubly recommend the remastered DLC, which is probably on a 20% discount. Together, they come to about $22 or the price of 6 packs of Marlboro Red here in Bosnia. I've already put 60 hours into this. It's worth it. As always, more content to come, so stay tuned. A warm thanks to the many members of the Merchants Guild, generously funding and bankrolling these videos. You're all truly wonderful. Have a good one.
Oh, there is a bunch of... it's the credits. Okay. With the credits behind. I already put on my wish list. I will definitely play this game. I don't know when, but I will play. And I really liked the focus more on the gameplay. Is the type of thing that I like because it's a game. It should give more focus to the gameplay aspect, and not try to be a movie, not try to be Hollywood. No, anyway, if you liked the video, please give it a like. Uh, Comment something, maybe recommend a video that you want to be watched, and subscribe. The original video is on the description. The VOD of the live that I watched is on the description too, if you're interested on seeing other things, because the YouTube disliked me posting 5 videos in one day, so I have to post just one video per day. So yeah. Okay, stop recording.